All right, so now it's time to talk about the Columbian Exchange. So, the word Columbian refers to Christopher Columbus, right? So, Christopher Columbus, when he made that first contact between the Eastern Hemisphere and the Western Hemispheres of the world, well, that began this process during which there have been so many exchanges, things going back and forth between Old World and New World, right? So, if you look at this picture, you can see that ever since 1492, right, the year where Columbus made that big trip, there have been all sorts of stuff going across the Atlantic Ocean or across the Pacific Ocean between Old World and New World. So we've got things that were originally in the New World that did not exist in the Old World. Things like beans, cocoa, corn, peanuts, pineapples, potatoes, pumpkins, squash, sweet potatoes, tobacco, tomatoes, and turkeys. Those are all things that were indigenous to the Americas and did not exist in Europe, Asia, and Africa. However, there were other things in Europe, Asia, and Africa that did not exist in the Americas. Things like bananas, cattle, chickens, citrus fruits, coffee beans, grapes, horses, onions, peaches, pigs, rice, sugarcane, and wheat. And so, as people colonized the Americas, they brought all of those plants and animals with them to the Americas. And there has been an exchange of things between these two hemispheres ever since. And this is not limited to just plants and animals, but also people, right? There have been people traveling between these two different parts of the world. And with those people, they brought things with them like diseases, right? That's all part of the Columbian Exchange as well. So it is a massive exchange, a really big exchange, so big that we call it sometimes the Grand Exchange. So underneath the title, Columbian Exchange, you can write the Grand Exchange because sometimes we call it that as well. And this lesson is all part of our unit. And in this unit, we are aiming to understand the effects of historical globalization on indigenous and non-indigenous peoples. So in this lesson, we're going to understand the effects that the Columbian Exchange had and continues to have on people of the Americas, right, indigenous peoples, and also people from the Old World, non-indigenous peoples in this case, right? So how did this exchange impact people and what kinds of things have been exchanged? Well, you guys have this picture in your notes, and there is space on both the left side and the right side of this picture in your notes. And in those empty spaces, I want you to write some stuff. So on the left side of the picture, you can write this definition of the Columbian Exchange. So you can write down the Columbian Exchange is the exchange of plants, animals, metals, ideas, diseases, and people between the old and the new worlds. Okay, so that is to the left side of the picture. And then to the right side of it, you can write down some additional information. It started in 1492 when Columbus made the first contact between the old world and the new world. He made contact between the eastern hemisphere and the western hemisphere, and ever since there's been an open exchange, an open flow of all sorts of stuff between these two worlds. Okay, so that is what the Columbian Exchange is all about, and we are going to learn about what kinds of things were included in this exchange and continue to be included in this exchange, and importantly for this unit, understand how this exchange has impacted the lives of indigenous and non-indigenous peoples. So you guys have the chart in your notes that looks like this. We are going to switch over to another video. Once this video is done, you can go to the next video in the playlist. That video is called America Before Columbus. And I only want you to watch two different clips from the video, right? So take it up to 53 minutes and 50 seconds and watch until you get to 1 minute and 1 hour and 6 minutes and 20 seconds. Okay, and then at that point, you can fast forward to 1 hour, 14 minutes and 40 seconds. And then at that point, just watch until the end. Okay. Yeah, so as you are doing that, as you're watching the video, you are going to see a bunch of different things that were exchanged between Old World and New World. So you can write down what is exchanged in the left column of your chart. And then you can draw an arrow in the second column of your chart, going, in the direction of west to east or in the direction of east to west, right? So if there is something that let's see, what was the first thing? The first thing is going to be horses, right? So horses are indigenous to the eastern hemisphere of the world. They are from the old world, and they were brought to the western hemisphere of the world. They were brought to the Americas. So you can draw an arrow going from the right to the left, right? Because horses were exchanged from east to west. And then I want you to write down, how did this affect the lives of indigenous people in the Americas? Okay, so just one sentence, just explaining, how that impacted the lives of indigenous people when horses were brought over to the Americas from the old world. Okay, and then continue to do that with the next stuff, right? There's going to be pigs, there's going to be diseases, there's going to be corn, potatoes, tomatoes, syphilis, settlers, wheat, barley. There's going to be invasive species like weeds, bees, fruits and vegetables, turkeys, sugar, tobacco. All of these things, you're going to see them in the video. And I want you to write them on the left side over here, and then explain, most importantly, explain how it impacted the lives of people. Okay? I hope this makes sense. I hope you enjoy the clips from the videos. Remember, do not watch the entire video, only watch these clips down here. Okay? And if you have questions, let me know.